the way you look at it.
Right.
And good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
And we have people in the sanctuary with us today, and this is so great. Thank you for you guys for coming, because it is really hard to speak to an empty room. Well, Jules is not empty, but for the rest of those chairs. It is a glorious day. We're having this Indian summer in November, which is just a blessing. So no complaining when it gets cold, because we've had this reprieve and it's definitely lovely. And so obviously we have news about who the next president of the United States may be. And I'd like to remind all of you, no matter what your preference is there is no time. There is no time for gloating. There is no time for sarcastic remarks. There's no time to keep going backwards. This is the time to go forward. This is the time that we stand up, we stand tall. We honor the democracy that we live in our democratic society. And we work together. We work together with compromise and with integrity and respect. So I want to remind everybody, I don't care what your party is, I care how you treat each other, and that we're respectful of each other. And we bless whatever the outcome, the final outcome is, we bless it, we accept it, and we go from there. You know, it's interesting, when I was becoming a minister and trying to figure out how could I possibly have something to say every single Sunday, let's just say 48 Sundays out of the year. And I guess some of you have noticed that I always have something to say. But what happens is there's so much I want to tell you that I can't get it all in on a Sunday. And things show up during the week and I go, oh, I want to add that and I want to add that. And all of these pages, if you think everything on these pages ever comes out to you, it doesn't, because I go off on my own spirit tangents and speak from my heart. But this morning when I was journaling, so most of you know that are in classes and press or hold me and different things, that every day I ask Spirit what it is I need to know. And then I take this book, Marianne Williamson, A Year of Miracles, and I flip through it like this, and I shake out all the cooties, and then I go to a page, and whatever it says I write down in my journal, and then I journal on that. And this morning, when I opened it, it was so apropos that I said, you know what? I gotta share it with you. It's gonna take another 3 minutes, but that's okay. So you'll forgive me, because it's a reflection. Sometimes they're a prayer, sometimes it's deep stuff, and sometimes it's just a reflection. So on day 35, the reflection was on re-enchanting the world. Now, is that not perfect or not? Re-enchanting the world. And so what it says is we were all indoctrinated into a disenchanted world, and we've sacrificed a lot to live there. The world isn't better off for having forfeited its tenderness. Oh my God. The meanness and the cynicism of our age, the reflective sarcasm that passes for intelligent reflection, the suspicion and judgment of everyone and everything, such are the toxic byproducts of a disenchanted world. Many of us want off the wheel of suffering, and I think we'll agree with that, and no matter what level it is, that we want a better life for ourselves. And it says we don't want to accept that what has to be. We want to piece the veil of illusion that separates us. So we want to sew up that veil and have no separation and just release it. We want another kind of life for ourselves and for our world. We are considering that there might be another way. And that's what I was just speaking about in being in respect and integrity for all people. A door to miraculous realms that is simply waiting to be opened. And I thought that was so apropos for this week and what we all went through, whether we're happy or not happy, that we can indeed have a enchanted world. So I wanted to share that with you this morning because I can. So anyhow, I'm glad that you're all here. And our vision and mission, a spiritual community of love, peace, and acceptance, creating an inclusion rather, either way, a spiritual community through fellowship, service, and community outreach. And that's who we are. We're a spiritual community of love, peace, and acceptance. And it's really important that we, as we're entering here each week and each Sunday, that we kind of go through those doors knowing that we are a community of love, peace, and acceptance. And we might have to close our doors if the cars are going to zoom. Sounds like 8th Avenue where I live. So right now I would like to ask my friend Tom Clover if he would please come up and read the daily word, lighting the Christ candle, and then lighting the flames of faith with me. Tom.
Thank you, Reverend Aubrey-Lynn. The daily word for today is world peace. I join with all who work to establish peace. We come from every culture, every race and ethnicity, every faith tradition, or no faith tradition. We call God by many different names, or no name. We are inspired by our awareness of the sacred worth of every human and united in our commitment to build a peaceful world. With this in mind, I let go of any fear or resentment toward anyone whose appearance, language, or customs differ from mine. I open my mind to differing spiritual beliefs. I open my heart to the presence of God in all and the wonder of human diversity. I make the commitment to join my heart, my will, and my efforts with those of all people who are working to establish and maintain peace in our homes, in our communities, in our nations, and in our world. And 1 Peter 3:11, let them seek peace and pursue it. We light the Christ candle today as a reminder that Christ light is always shining within us, and all we have to do is acknowledge it and give birth to it and spread it to all the world.
And as we begin our flames of faith, we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people and all faiths, all sentient beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. So as Tom lights the first candle, we light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. And we light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. And we light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual practices. And the last candle that we light this candle for all of those who are yet unaware of the power and the presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them here at this center, and for all religions unnamed in this ceremony. And thank you, Tom. So today is the last day of the series, The Ideal Made Real, Part 3. And we always have started with our journey is eternity. Eternity is now. So now is where we begin. So on control and choice of our lives. Think about this. On control and choice of our lives, the most important thing that we can learn about this is knowing we can change and what we can't change. We have to know what is changeable, and we have to know what we can't. And that immediately eliminates stress from your life. Right there. It's done. So Epictetus, now I practice this word, I want you to know it. Epictetus, that's how they say it. He's a Greek philosopher around 108 AD. And the more I go back in time, it fascinates me how relevant and how spot on for over 2,000 years ago, something is in this very moment. And it just delights me. Doesn't take much to make me happy, guys. So this is what he says. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which externals are not under my control and which are. With the choices I actually have, I can control my choices. This is over 2,000 years ago. And it's the same thing that I was saying in the paragraph above this all by my big old self. So I laugh when they call this teaching new thought, because there isn't a new thought in the universe. My second year teacher, Dr. Judy Powell, used to say, I don't have a creative thought in my soul. I just have to open to one that's already written and expand on it and expound on it, she used to say. And it's true, because what we have in our life is to choose how we live, and it's that simple. And I don't know why it has to be so complicated. See, we cannot give expression to all the power within until we recognize and awaken our nature, and until we can find out that we're never going to be at peace until we live with the infinite. So the question then is, if I can control my life, why aren't I doing that? And then my question back to you is, are you living your life with the Spirit within? Are you living with the Holy Spirit? Are you living with your body, heart, and soul, which is within you? Are you accepted in the kingdom of heaven is within you? Because until that is cemented in your brain, you have trouble making the right choices. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah, good, okay. All right, so last week we spoke of the first 3 essentials for good living. And the first one was, if you remember, learn to be still. And all of the law requires harmony and stillness. To live peacefully, then we must act and speak peacefully. Again, simple. And of course, I mentioned last week that one of the things that Larson, who wrote The Ideal Made Real, says is we try too hard. We try too hard, and we try to be perfect, and we try to do the right thing. And what he says is that we have to let go and never be anxious, but just to be. And don't be anxious if we're doing it right. And we were speaking about that before the service began today, and we were laughing and saying, Sherry and Margaret saying last night they love it when I whisper to Jules, are we on yet? and Jules goes, yeah, we're on. And they're saying how natural that is and how, see, I'm not trying to be perfect. You know, when I first came and I tried to make everything perfect, it didn't work because I was so nervous making everything perfect. You don't have to make things perfect. We just have to be from within, from our heart space. So number 2 then was rejoice and be glad. And if you remember, I said that what the sun does for vegetation, cheerfulness does for happiness. So that we have to live with happiness and cheerfulness and different ways of doing that. How do we wake up in the morning and be cheerful? You know, so. And I woke up this morning dreaming that Jules wallpapered her office with little flowers on one wall and dark blue and gold plaid on another wall. And I was going crazy in this dream going, how do I tell her she can't make those choices by herself? So that was a good way to wake up and be laughing, I will tell you that. But yeah, so it's fun. Whatever's going on in that little space when you wake up, enjoy it. And we talked about the royal path to happiness. What does it make you feel like when you feel like you're royalty? So that was the first 3. And then on number 4. Number 4 is have faith in abundance. And before you can have faith in abundance, then you have to have faith in spirit, in God. And God is your only source. God is my source and supply. God is my source and supply. Whenever you get in that feeling of, okay, what am I going to do now? Release the fear. God is my source and supply. God is my source and supply. There can be no lack and limitation because God is my source and supply. Again, there can be no lack and limitation because God is my source and supply. And you never know around what corner a door is going to open up and whatever you need is going to show up right away and be handed to you. You just never know. Okay, so faith then. Faith is deeper and larger and greater than your own self-confidence and high esteem, because faith elevates your consciousness and brings it to a higher level, and it brings it to that infinite possibilities. And somebody was asked on the news today or yesterday, God knows when, but what is one word for America? And I was so in joy when they said possibilities. I went, oh my God, yes, possibilities, immense possibilities. So, and with faith, we're standing on solid ground. We're standing on that sacred ground. And it's so important that we understand that planet Earth is sacred. So we are always standing on sacred ground. And then faith. Faith moves you towards your dreams and your aspirations and brings them to you. So when you live and breathe in faith, you cannot fail, because faith towards that inexhaustible to you with a capital I, inexhaustible, capital I, God, inexhaustible, the source of all your supplies. So doubt, worry, lack, reduce the capacity for growth. Faith fills the void. Faith fills the voids. And so, and here's the icing on this beautiful cake. So we're building, we build our foundation. We build our foundation on faith, and then we build up from that. When you have faith in your life, you, yourself, your fellow man, your faith, you're one beautiful soul, and it elevates the lives of 1,000 people. So when we are living at high frequency, when we're living at high frequency, when we're in that quantum field, we have the ability to touch 1,000 lives. Think about that. That is awesome. That is scientific, that's a fact, and it's awesome. That's that quantum field. And what is the quantum field? The stillness. And what is the stillness? God. God. So number 5, pray without ceasing. Now, when people hear that, they think, oh my God, I got to walk around all day and muttering my prayers and prayers and prayers. And hi, good to see you, and I'm praying and praying. No, that's not what it means at all. That's not. You could if you want to. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. You could do that if you want to. But what it means, of course, is it's about consistently living with a loftier ideal. Living with something higher, something better, to live righteously with integrity and respect for all life, including your own. So many of us are really good with caring about those guys out there, but we forget about ourselves. So I'll give you a crazy example. So very quickly, so I needed to get some serious medical attention this week. But I couldn't go because I couldn't miss my class on Thursday night. So I had to be home for my class. And so I leave here, and Jill said, well, are you going to the ER? And I said, oh no, I have a class tonight, I can't miss that. And then when I was in the class, of course, I asked for prayer because we ask for prayer because we believe in prayer. And they go, like, why are you here? And I go, oh, because I couldn't miss my class. See, in reality, and then when I went to bed, I prayed to the Holy Mother to keep me alive until the morning, which she did. So all's good, I'm here. But anyhow, it's like self-care. And so I blamed it on the board, by the way. I said, you don't know my board about these classes. So that's what I told them. So you guys have a better out now. So I really did too. So anyhow, but to get back to where I go, I digress. So to get to this place of silence and true prayer is the whole soul desire for the larger, the greater, the better mind, always focused on the presence, always focused on it. How many times do you say, oh my God, that's beautiful. Oh my God, did you see that? Oh my God, did you hear that? That in itself is the prayer without ceasing, because you're constantly at a higher level. You're at that loftier level. And of course, to get there is where? The silence. It always goes back to the silence, to the peace. Like Charles Fillmore, he went to the headquarters. How many of you know that? I've heard that. Charles Fillmore, Tom, went to the headquarters, and what that meant was that he would sit in this straight back chair and for like 2 hours. For 2 hours a day, and his kids would come in and with their friends, and they would go like, what's wrong with him? And the kids would say, oh, he's going to headquarters. And of course he was going to God. I would imagine you're so used to it, your friends come in and like, okay, what's with that dude, But 2 hours a day, 2 hours a day until he could get to that place where he could close out everything. So it always goes back then to the silence, going into that closet. The closet is your mind. Going into the closet of your mind and closing the door. And then affirm, peace is mine. I'm resting in the stillness of spirit. I have entered the beautiful calm. Now, if you can memorize that, which is easy, it's 3 lines. Peace is mine. I'm resting in the stillness of spirit. I have entered the beautiful calm. And use that as a mantra, not like I'll do it like this, but I'm resting in the stillness of the calm. And allow yourself to settle in and allow your body to fill the chair that you're sitting in, or if you're sitting on the floor with your back against the couch, or whatever your practice may be. Peace is mine. I'm resting in the stillness of spirit. I have entered a beautiful calm. Do you see how easily then peace can come to you? So do you feel just hearing those words, do you feel that perfect peace of soul, that letting go? And that's what's essential to prayer. And I don't like the word steps, but they have them in all New Thought teachings, the steps to prayer. But what that is the preparation. It's the letting go of the outside world, the preparation to prayer. So how can we possibly hear that small voice within if we are not in complete alignment with our higher self? So if you get up and say, okay, I have to do my prayers, and I do my prayers, and now I set a timer for 20 minutes, and I'm going to be still for 20 minutes, and then when the timer goes off, you get up and then you go about your day. I hate to tell you, but you haven't accomplished much in the way of reaching stillness. So we have to train ourselves. We have to train ourselves to have higher and loftier thoughts, and only create in our minds that which is good for all. To think that what you think in silence, that's got to have a greater effect, not just on your life, but everybody's life. So when you're living for the higher realms, always and constantly desire the realization of the best for everyone, the best for everyone. So number 6, think the truth. What is the truth? God is all there is. God is all there is. God is all there is. See, when we think of truth, we come to a new understanding of lives, that we let go of the old and welcome the new. Today is a new, beautiful day. Discord fades into the nothingness of everything, and harmony abounds. See, will you, do you accept the truth? The foundation of all truth is expressed in one basic sentence. Man is a spiritual being created in the image and likeness of God. Now, the image and likeness of God is not head, hands, feet, toes, and fingers. That's not the image and likeness of God. Whenever you talk about the nature, you're talking about a name. What it means is the image and likeness of God are the 7 aspects of the Christ consciousness, which are love, light, harmony, peace, beauty, joy, and wisdom. So I ask you, so think about this, so that I ask you this. Are you love? Are you light? Are you peace? Are you harmony? Are you beauty? Are you joy? Are you wisdom? If any of these words give you pause, if you're not accepting them in totality for yourself, I ask you to think about them this week and ask yourself, your higher self, why can I not accept every one of these words, the 7 words of the Christ consciousness, the image and likeness of God? Why can I not accept these words as my truth? And journal on that and think about that and work with it. Think the truth about yourself, and you will see and experience the truth about everybody else. Because if you are in light, love, peace, harmony, beauty, joy, and wisdom, that's all you're going to see around you. I look out here at the 6 of you, and that's what I see. That's what I see, because that's what I feel. Hard to let go. I will not discount that. My daughter, some time ago, wrote this beautiful poem, and it so fits with all of this that I wanted to share it with you today. And it's called, If I Sit in My Aloneness Long Enough. So this is what she says. My breath slows, my thoughts stop swirling, my heart opens. If I sit in my aloneness long enough, I can breathe. My shoulders stop touching my ears. My heart ceases to race. If I sit in my aloneness long enough, my pace becomes deliberate, and I can see my world and myself connected by the sacred space of solitude. I am alone, yet part of the whole. If I sit in my solitude and listen to the sound of my breath slow, there is quiet, a quiet void between heartbeats. I taste the salt of my own tears, and I feel the depth of old sorrow, each tear telling its own story. As I sit with myself in those quiet moments, I leave my tears at the doorstep of the temple, at the feet of my Creator. If I sit with my aloneness long enough, old sorrow and piercing grief opens my heart, just enough so that sacred space and solitude fills the void between heartbeats of what was broken becomes whole. There, at the doorstep of my temple, at the feet of my Creator, I see myself and my world not separated by the pain of chapters long finished, rather connected by the story yet told. And if that doesn't sum up about letting go, and that there's a story yet untold in each one of our lives, and we get to create it. That's the good news. We get to create it. So as we commit then to this stillness, to truly allow the truth to surface, we begin to know that there's definitely still a story. And that brings me to the last principle of living an ideal life. Live in spirit. And that's really what I've been speaking about for the whole 3 weeks, living in spirit. To express this statement in simple terms, you would say, to live in spirit then is to live in the upper story of your mind. We have this upper story, we have this higher self, we have this super consciousness. We want to live on the good side? We want to live on the bright side? The true side of everything? Wow. I know living this way can radically change your life. And when the true side becomes so clear, and when you understand, it means you'll infinitely have more in your life, a larger picture of yourself. So when you leave here today, I want you to expand your canvas, bigger and bigger and bigger, and see what's on that canvas. Look at what you can create right now, you who are living with the Creator within your heart and soul. So all illusions of doubt and fear, we release them, we get to our spiritual beings, and we feel and we accept. And this is when we know that there is a substance, something in the universal ethers. There is something from which all things flow. And all we have to do is learn to be still, rejoice and be glad, have faith in abundance, pray without ceasing, think the truth, and live in spirit. A tall order, maybe, but the choice is yours, and the beginning is right here and right now. So as we go into the silence together, just open your mind so wide. And look at a new canvas of your life. How big is it? And as you pick up a pencil, pen, paintbrush, picture from a magazine, as you pick an image in your mind, what is the first image that you put on this new canvas of the story that hasn't been told yet? And what are you feeling as you and God co-create together this newness? Joy, excitement, adventure, love. What feeling are you creating as you draw this beginning of the story not yet told in your life? And this is just step one. For each day from this moment on, you have the ability, by your own choices, to keep creating this stream of newness. So as you come back to this environment, wherever you may be, as you come back, don't close the door on these thoughts, but let them percolate and let them bubble over, and then let them be a part of your every new morning. And know that you are always at choice. Welcome back. So, once again, for those of you who are in the sanctuary, we have the love offering basket in the back. And for all of those who've been sending in checks and dropping off cash and PayPal, thank you so much. Even though we are officially closed, we're sort of open. If you're comfortable to come in on Sunday, it's a joy for me to be able to look out and see some friendly faces here. So I'm just going to do our offertory prayer. The love of God inspires me to give in a spirit of generosity. I give with love and joy to ensure growth of this ministry and this Unity Center. And so it is. And thank you, God. Thank you. We have a couple of announcements today. The book club is still resuming on Zoom on Wednesdays at noon. We have 2 more classes, and that one will be over. However, we are having so much joy and fun with it. We're going to be opening up a new one. I have about 4 books in mind, so we're going to talk about that in the book club in the next 2 weeks and pick a new book to do that. We're just having a really good time. For those of you that did not know, Veronique had surgery on Friday, and she is now home. She is good, doing well, and the good news is she does not need any chemotherapy. All of the prayers that have been going out for Veronique have been heard and answered, and I know that you're listening right now, Veronique, so we're shouting out to you. We love you, and blessings, and just get well even quicker than the doctors think that you can. And then I have some good news that I'd like to share with you. And most of you know that Renee Makuta, Renee, and myself have been working on a book about COVID for children. We're all in this together. They have printed. They're on Amazon. You can actually buy our books now. We are so excited about this. And so our plan is to being that I'm here, I'm going to send books to Oprah. And being that Renee is in Tennessee, she's going to go after Dolly Parton's because Dolly Parton's buys lots of books and gives them away free to children. And so we're planning on that. And Jackie's working with me on publicity and getting press releases out and getting to the local libraries to do book signings. And it is here. Can we see it, Jules? Is it showing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's good. It's good. Book 2 is written. It's ready to go to press right now. And I will start writing book 3. The artwork is all Renee. It's outstanding. So if you could support us in this endeavor, and then we are giving part of the proceeds to Rainbows for All Children also. So we're doing that, and we're very excited about that. So yeah, a little public. You know, my mother always said self-praise stinks, but my grandmother always said it was better than no praise. So anyhow, I'm praising, I'm blessing, I'm such in gratitude that this has happened for us, and we're going from there. So I believe, unless anyone has anything from the sanctuary, I believe that's all of our announcements. Tom, do you need anybody to help come rake leaves?
Yeah, probably on Thursday afternoon.
Thursday afternoon, Tom says that probably we'll be raking leaves because there are a lot of leaves out there. So all of you guys, and I mean guys and girls when I say guys, that need exercise and have rakes, let's get over here and get all of these leaves raked up. That would be a great thing to have.
What's the time, Tom?
Probably 1:30.
Around 1:30. Around 1:30, let's rake leaves. I would do that, but my breathing's a little off right now, so you'll forgive me if I don't help. I'll pray for you guys. Okay. So, all right, so if that's it, for all of you who are on live stream with us, thank you so much. Blessings. I know we have Renee in Tennessee, and we have Leanne out there. We have Jessica, my niece, in Pennsylvania. So we're out there all over the place, and we hope to keep expanding. And we pray that we can open our doors soon, and we'll all be back. Right now, our tentative date officially is December 6th, I believe, whatever the first Sunday is. But we're still open. If you're comfortable, show up on Sunday and at least give me a couple of great faces to see. So thank you. I love you all. God bless you, and God bless America.